While all precautions have been taken to ensure accuracy in the execution of this video, the producers accept no responsibility for errors herein nor liability for accidents, material losses, or injuries resulting from use of information supplied within this video.
Howdy and welcome to the DIY Auto Guy. My name is Glenn. This show is geared towards the average automotive do-it-yourselfer guy and gal. On today's episode, I'll be conducting an oil change on a 2004 Chevrolet Cavalier. This process can be modified for whatever make, model, and type of vehicle you have. Let's start by listing off the 5 main steps of the oil change process.
Step 1. Gathering the supplies and tools. Step 2. Location and prepping the vehicle. Step 3. Draining the oil and removing the old oil filter. Step 4. Installing new filter and adding new oil. Step 5. Cleanup and oil disposal. Step 1. Gathering the supplies and tools. In this step, we will be gathering all of the supplies and tools needed and recommended for an oil change. We need to find out the oil weight, type of oil filter, and amount of oil we need for the oil change. You can find this out by checking the owner's manual. If you don't have an owner's manual on hand, contact your local auto shop to find out what oil and filter you need. Provide them with your vehicle model, make, and year. You can find that information in your vehicle's registration. Now that we have all of the information gathered, we need to decide what type of oil we are going to use in the oil change. There are 3 types of oils on the market: standard grade, semi-synthetic, and full synthetic. We will use standard grade for this episode, but you can use any oil type of your choosing. Standard grade oil typically runs for about $3.50 per liter, while full synthetic costs anywhere from $6 to $8 per liter. The oil I bought ran me about $20 for 5 liters. You'll also need a new oil filter. The average price of one runs about $10 to $20. The oil filter I purchased ran me about $8. The tools we'll need are a proper sized oil filter wrench, proper sized screwdriver, and a proper sized socket, or open-end wrench. Ramps will be needed to mount the vehicle on, so we can get underneath. Wheel blocks are encouraged, so the vehicle won't roll off the ramps. We'll also need a catch container to catch all the oil that falls out, and a proper container to dispose of the old oil for later. A flashlight or headlamp to see. Paper towels or rags, anything of that sort to clean up any potential spills. It's best to prepare by wearing proper work clothing and equipment. You should be wearing goggles or safety glasses to protect your eyes. Also try wearing gloves and coveralls or old clothes to work in, preferably long-sleeved. A hat to cover your hair is recommended too. Now we have all of our supplies and are properly equipped. Step 2. Location and prepping the vehicle. In this step, we'll set up the location where we will conduct the oil change. First, locate a flat, solid surface, preferably paved or a garage. For this, we'll be doing the oil change on a paved driveway. Start by lining up the ramps to the vehicle's wheels. Drive up the ramps very slowly, being careful not to overshoot the ramps. Shift the vehicle into park and engage the emergency brake if your vehicle is equipped with one. Shut the engine off and pop the hood. Climb out and place the wheel blocks behind the vehicle's rear wheels. The vehicle is now prepped and ready. Step 3. Draining the oil and removing the old oil filter. In this step, we'll drain the old oil out of the engine and remove the old oil filter. First, get under the vehicle and locate the oil pan and drain plug. They are usually under the motor at its lowest point. Find a socket or open-end wrench that fits the drain plug and have it ready. Now place the catch container underneath the drain plug, making sure it is directly in line with the pan and plug. Make sure you have a catch container that will hold the amount of oil you purchased, or else the old oil that drains into the container will overflow and spill onto the ground. Next, loosen the drain plug by turning it counterclockwise. Sometimes the drain plug requires a bit of force to loosen it. After loosening the plug, make sure the catch container is lined up underneath. Now remove the drain plug from the pan. Make sure not to drop the plug bolt into your catch container, or else you will have to fish it out of the waste oil. Be careful of potential oil splatter on yourself, as the oil will be very warm. Once all of the old oil has drained out, place the plug bolt back into the oil pan and tighten it snug. Remember to never over-tighten the bolt or you will strip the threads on the nut. Now we will locate the old oil filter and remove it. The oil filter is usually located on the underside or close by the oil pan. On this model, the filter is located on the top of the engine bay. To gain access to the filter, first remove the air intake snorkel. Now using a filter wrench or channel lock pliers, remove the oil filter by turning it counterclockwise. Be careful when you remove the filter, as it will still be full of oil. Once it's removed, dump the oil from the filter into your catch container. All the old oil has been drained out and the old oil filter has been removed. Step 4. Installing new filter and adding new oil. In this step, we'll be installing the new oil filter and adding the new oil. Let's start by installing the new oil filter. Remember again, not to over-tighten. After that, clean up any residual oil that has dripped and leaked on any areas. Then replace the air intake snorkel. Next, let's add the new oil. If you have a funnel, this will speed up adding in the oil, plus making it a cleaner process. Locate the fill cap under the hood. Remove the cap and place the funnel inside. Now begin slowly adding the new oil, making sure to take your time, as you don't want to spill any of the new oil. Once you're done adding the correct amount of oil, wait approximately 5 minutes to let all of the new oil sink down to the bottom of the oil pan. Next, check the dipstick to measure the amount of oil that was just added. Keep in mind that the vehicle is on a slight incline. You don't want to misread it and think you need to pour in more. Replace the dipstick and fill cap. Step 5. Cleanup and oil disposal. In this step, we'll be backing the vehicle off of the ramps and cleaning up our work area. Get in and start the vehicle. Disengage the emergency brake and shift into reverse. Very slowly back off the ramps. Once on level ground, shut off the engine. Check your dipstick for oil level again. You should get an accurate reading now that the vehicle is level. We can clean up the area now by putting away our tools and cleaning any remaining oil spills that we may have missed. To dispose of your old oil, contact your local auto parts supplier or check the yellow pages in the phone book to find out how to properly dispose of your waste oil.
To recap this episode, first we found what type of oil and oil filter we needed for the oil change. Then we gathered the supplies and tools we needed to conduct the oil change. We then found a suitable location and readied the vehicle for the oil change. Following that, we got underneath and drained the old oil and removed the old filter. Afterwards, we installed the new oil filter and added the new oil. Finally, we cleaned up our workspace and disposed of the old oil. Please remember, you may be putting in some extra money buying the tools and supplies needed to change your own oil. But know that in the long run, you'll be saving money from the auto shops doing it for you. You'll have the satisfaction knowing you've done this yourself. That's it for this episode. Be sure to check out the next episode when we will show you how to properly check and maintain the air pressure in your tires, as well as how to change a tire.
While all precautions have been taken to ensure accuracy in the execution of this video, the producers accept no responsibility for errors herein nor liability for accidents, material losses, or injuries resulting from use of information supplied within this video.